Good morning and good afternoon and good evening, people around the world in Australia, Europe, and North America. So the topic of the talk and meditation today is bodhichitta, and Tibetan word is Zasep Tulku Rinpoche, and the precious bodhichitta. And also we will do a meditation on bodhichitta. So last week I mentioned, I talked about the equilibrium meditation. We did meditation on equilibrium mind, and Dangyum Gomba. So that is the foundation and sort of the base of meditation on bodhicitta. According to Lam Rim teaching, there are two main methods of meditation on bodhicitta. The first method is called 7 Mahayana cause and effect. Second method is called exchange the attitude of oneself with others. So first topic, the 7 Mahayana cause and effect is called in Tibetan Ju De Menga Du. Ju is cause, De, or it's a short word for Du. Menga is the method, Ju De Menga Du. And the second one is exchanging the attitude of oneself with others. The Tibetan word is Dag Yen Nyam Je. Dag itself, Yen is others. Nyam Je means equally exchange the attitudes, or kind of exchanging or sharing, and so on. So the first topic is the 7 Mahayana cause and effect. So there are actually 6 causes, and there is one effect or the result. So in order to experience the realization of bodhicitta, to have realization of bodhicitta, it is important first one must accomplish the causes. Everything has cause, right? Cause and effect. And so there are 6 causes. The very first cause is called in Tibetan Mashe, means recognize the mother. And in English word is recognizing mother. So trying to recognize, or trying to, in other words, considering all sentient beings as one's own mother. So we meditate on that. So first, we have to do analytical meditation to analyze kind of Tibetan word is jegum. Jegum, je means to jebache, which means analyze by the mind. Sort of rational thinking and logical thinking and imagining, or not just imagining, but trying to understand sentient beings are mothers, right? So what does this actually mean, and does it mean literally that every single sentient being were your mothers once upon a time? And so that means even like ants, insects, and all the kinds of creatures, right? Like including mosquitoes. All these sentient beings are once upon a time was my mother. How does that work? And how does that really means? Or does that really make kind of sense? Or it is very difficult to actually imagine this way, and hard to understand, and mind, we have saying in English, mind-boggling, and how is it possible that every sentient being were my mothers one time or 2 times in the past? So that's hard. And at the same time, you or I cannot say they were not mothers. And I can't really say they were mothers. I don't have any sort of proof. And so hard to kind of imagine, right? And but it doesn't really matter. I think the main question here is the attitude, the thought, the thought and attitude. Whether these sentient beings were mothers and fathers or brothers and sisters or not. And well, they were or they were not. Or, when we're as a sentient being born in this world, any of the six realms, most realms, when you're born, you have to have some kind of mother. Like, for example, human realm, animal realm, hungry ghost realm. I'm not sure in hell realms you have a mother or not. And when you have time to have a babies and offsprings and producing offsprings and so on, you're tormented, so much suffering, right? But never mind. Same as in demigod realms too, they're fighting all the time. But maybe they're fighting have a offspring at the same time. Just like human beings do that too in our history. And people start wars all the time. There's a war right now going on everywhere, and there's a pandemic going on. Same time, there are lots of babies are born, and children are born. It's like that. In the animal kingdom, you are always constantly prey on each other, like snakes and tigers and leopards, hyenas, and they're always constantly 24 hours going after each other and prey. And there's prey and predators, but at the same time, somehow they manage to have offsprings and babies, right? Just part of the life. It happens. It happens. No matter how busy you are, it happens. Or, you know, actually, the more you're busy, you probably have more energy to produce offsprings. If you're lazy, you don't want to have responsibility, and you can't even think about having babies or children or offsprings, right? So, like we have saying in India, they're saying if you want something to be done and you ask the busy man will do it for you. Doesn't matter how busy he is. A lazy man can't do anything. So animals like that too. I think the busy ones usually produce offsprings and fight and defending their territories and so on and so forth. So it doesn't stop there, And so somehow there's always cause and effect, and there's always mother and fathers and so on and so forth. So the idea is a good one. And then you get also some sort of strange feeling sometimes. You get strange reactions. One time when I was telling about one should explaining about according to Lam Rim, one should consider all sentient beings are my mothers. And then one person said to me, I can't imagine my mother is like all these sentient beings. And there are so many cruel, horrible people. I can't think about my mother is like that. Or I can't imagine, can't accept these people were my mothers. These horrible people like dictators and, selfish people and cruel and evil people and killing people all the time. How can I think that they were my mothers? I can't imagine it like that. And and then another person. Well, I think the same person also said that my mother is very special. She's like holy. She is like Tara, and how can I think my mother is like the other creatures? Miserable creatures. Doesn't make sense, and that's what the reaction the person gave me, and I said, well, we have different karmas and we go through different lifetimes. We're not talking about in one life, your mother suddenly turned into a horrible person, or your mother suddenly become a Buddha. And that's possible. That's possible, but you don't have to go into that kind of frame of mind, or don't have to go that fast, and you also don't need to sort of uh, uh, trying to find some kind of contradictions, contradictions. If you're looking for contradictions and controversial versus so on, you will always find contradictions in life. Life is full of contradictions, and there's lots of contradictions, and there are lots of controversies, and every group, every individual person, or even religious groups, and there's always contradictions and different ideas and theories, and so it's no point of going into those contradiction, controversy, and reading, talking about this stuff, and doesn't do much. It's not much use. So we don't really go into those sort of details, whether about all sentient beings or my mothers and not, and all this and that. So as I say, the idea is good. Why is good? For example, usually as a human being and animals too, we all have some kind of warm feelings towards to our mothers, our fathers, and brothers and sisters, and to the family, right? Warm feelings. So the moment you think, when you think about all sentient beings, your mothers, you have this sort of warm feelings arise from your heart towards to everyone. That is the point. That is this is how we should, this kind of feeling we should develop. And and let me say it this way. So considering all sentient beings as one's own mother is, the idea is similar to, we use the word Mother Earth, right? And the First Nations people in Canada, Indigenous people, and also Aboriginal people in Australia, they talk about Mother Earth, right? And for the sky. And we are all children of the Mother Earth. In South America and Peru and Bolivia, they use word Pachamama, which means Mother Earth. So in the Buddhist teaching, sutras also have a word. It says the mother-like, the earth, and earth is like a mother. And when we make mandala offering, we offer the earth, we offer the Mount Meru, we offer 4 continents, sun and moon, we offer everything. We have a concept. The earth is a mother. And everything comes from the earth, right? Like that, and everything comes from the mother. So doesn't matter exactly who was our mothers or not, how many mothers, this and that. But as bottom line is, every time when you reincarnate on earth as a human being, and you always have a mother, right? The mother is always looks after us. So that's the second topic. It's called remember the kindness of Mother Sentient. The first topic is recognize all sentient beings as a mother. Okay, so I like to lead meditation here, analytical meditation. We sit quietly and think about, so intellectually do analytical meditation. The word is, consider all sentient beings are my mother. So you think about that, say that word in your mind, and all sentient beings, my mother, they are my mothers, they were my mothers. So then how do you feel? What sort of feeling you get? And it's, if you need time to relax, sit and to generate the feeling, what sort of feeling, and you look at your feeling. Okay, let's do short meditation on analytical meditation on all sentient beings as a mother. So, so this meditation is a very beautiful meditation. I'm speaking from my own experience and to remembering kindness of one's own mother, because it is important to remember kindness of the mother, and a lot of times we forget kindness of our mother because we're our lives too busy doing many things. We have a lot of responsibilities or whatever you're doing, and you kind of forget. Time goes fast. Um, Also, it has been long time. Like uh, since you were little kid who need mother's love, mother's care, and so forth. That sort of past now is already whatever 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, whatever is past now. So sort of you kind of lost that feeling, that sort of connection with the mother, right? Your mother might be already, passed away a long time ago, or some of your mothers still here, and also people move around. You lose that sort of connection, or there's a distance kind of feeling, right? So this is very important to remember the kindness of the mother. So there's because that's it's a sense, it's an act of respect, and your mother will be very honored, or your mother will appreciate that you remember her, or recognizing her and thinking about her wherever she is on this earth right now, or life, or maybe reincarnated again, another human being, or maybe she's somewhere else, another realm. So she will appreciate that you're thinking about her, and then you can pray for her and do meditation for her and repay the kindness. Okay, but so the first topic here is recognizing sentient beings as our mothers, right? The second topic is remember the kindness of one's own mother, of this life, present life, or of the past. Um, Remembering kindness of one's mother, but both one's present mother and all living beings. Remember kindness. So, especially when we remember the kindness of mother, when you think about, then your mother will appreciate that, and also it is healing for us, remembering kindness of our mother. So, how do we start this meditation? Where do we go? Well, according to teaching, says you go back right from the beginning, as far as you go back where you uh, remember. When you were a little child. So, for example, whether you remember or not, it's basically when we're born, we're a little tiny person, baby. Our life is totally 100% dependent on the mother and the father. So we have saying in the Dharma teaching says your mother could have, would have, or not would have, could have saved you 100 times daily. So because you're constant, the mother has to watch you constantly, right? Watching and for your safety. So not only after you are born, before you're born, the moment you are conceived or as a child, or before even conception, when the mother and father thinking about having the child, having baby, they made the decision already right there. Their mind is different now. They uh, they take responsibility and big challenge, and big, it's an exciting life, but it's also a big responsibility and challenge. So difficult, and difficult in a way. So then once the moment you found out you are mother, you are pregnant, or your wife is pregnant, and then you're excited and happy, but also you worry. So what happens now? And most mothers, they won't even talk about she is pregnant until she passed those weeks and months that you are now safe, right? So there's concerns about what you do, what you don't do, what you eat. You should not smoke, you should not drink, you should not do this, should not do that. So there's always practice. You have to practice awareness, practice mindfulness, and you need discipline and practice patience and perseverance and morality. And so this is a big Dharma practice. Becoming mother is a big Dharma practice, big Mahayana practice, and the great path, you see. And then you go through the pregnancy, and then baby is born. And now the baby is born. Now at the beginning of the work. And so how many times you have to change the baby? You know, how many diapers you go through, and how many days and months you don't get enough sleep. And some mothers and fathers say they haven't had decent sleep for 3 years. Okay, 3 years, that's a long time, deprived from sleeping. And so you lose a lot of your pleasures or your time and privacy and leisure time, or you lose a lot of things, and you give up a lot of things, right? And at the same time, you also gain a lot of things. You gain so much happiness, joy. The baby is bringing happiness in your life. We are saying this baby is the sunshine in your life, and you cannot be selfish. You cannot be, miserable, and you have to be always positive, trying to be good and happy, and so it changes. The baby changes the life of the mother, life of the father, and the baby helps you to grow as a human being. And the baby makes you become more kinder person, more taking responsibility, and on a physical level, mental level, and financial level, or different levels, it changes your entire life if you want to be a good father and good mother. And most people are good fathers and good mothers. There are some are not good, and maybe they don't have a good parents for themselves growing up, or unfortunate situation, right? Conditions. So the mother gives away so much. And according to Lam Rim text says, as soon as the baby is born, you make sure this baby is warm and enough sleep, enough milk, enough food. You just constantly watching and looking after. And so, okay, so this is human life, all mothers done that. So this is a remembering of kindness of mother. Our mothers did the same thing, and my mother did the same thing, and my grandmother did the same thing. This is why I'm still here and healthy person. Partly kindness of my mother and father and my family, and we have good genes, good upbringings, and so all mothers are same. And I watch the birds. Right now it's spring in Canada in April, so the birds are returning. Soon they're going to lay eggs, and I watch hard work. So this little bird, whichever the bird is, some birds they build a nest with mud. So you fly backwards, forth to the creek, bringing mud in their mouth. They can't carry it like we do in hands. Only thing that they can grab by their mouth, and it's like swallows, for example. They build a huge nest, okay, and the robins do that thing. Build a huge nest with mud, and their spit build this beautiful nest. Or they build a nest with straw, and going backwards and forth how many times you fly around, build this nest. And then make sure you build this nest before the eggs comes out, before you lay the eggs. Otherwise, where do you lay the eggs? There's one bird in Australia, northern territories, called plovers. They're funny birds. They just leave the eggs right on the ground. No nest, nothing. Right in the ground, just leave it there. And but she's not as stupid. When she's flying around, looking around, when the predator, some human beings come around, she will dance in front of you and distracting the attention, or she act like she's sick, and then the cats and the dogs will come after her, and then instead of going after the eggs. So she's got her own plans, kind of, and ideas what to do. But anyway, so you make sure you build a nest before the eggs laid, and then once the nest is built, then you lay the egg. Now, big job. You have to make sure the egg is hatched. You sit on it. And if the eggs got too cold, and then it will be probably ruined. And or the eggs are too hot, the weather is too hot, then you have to sit on it and keep it cool. Otherwise, the eggs will be ruined. Or some other birds like owls or somebody will eat it. Or some other mammals, they'll come. That's what they do. They come looking for delicious eggs. And so eggs will be ruined. So you have to guard the eggs. This is job of mother bird. And like that, all the other mothers, like dogs and cats, bears, cougars, and all the other animals do the same thing. It's all natural instinct. They don't talk about mother or father, this and that. Nobody tells you what to do. They do it by instinct. So this is their way of doing. And this is why we say all the mothers are same. And all mothers same. We have jokes, saying every crow thinks her baby is the best baby. And so all the mothers are same. And remember the kindness of mothers. Okay, so for example, we have a wonderful Dakini. Her name was Machig Labdun. She was an emanation of Tara. And she was the co-founder of the church practice. Her and her guru, Padma Sangye. So Machig Labdun had sons. One of her son, his name is Gyalwa Dundup. And Gyalwa Dundup made beautiful praises to his mother in church text. He says, first you gave me this holy precious body. Tangbo lusem jebe ma, Tibetan word. Tangbo lusem jebe ma. First you gave me this mind and the body. Pardu sangzing jimbe ma. After that you gave me food, clothing, and so on and so on. Sangzing means all kinds of objects, to nourish me. And tamar jeme tambe ma. At the end, you taught me the holy Dharma. Kyewa meba. Kyewa meba means the voidness. You showed me emptiness. You showed me Mahamudra. You showed me Chur, the ultimate teaching. Tamar jeme tambe ma. And so then he said, I pray to you, my mother. Not only my mother, but you are Dakini. You are enlightened one. So her own son, Gyalwa prays to his mother as a regular mother, doing all the things what the mothers did. But then at the end, she taught him how to reach enlightenment. That's incredible mother, right? How many mothers can do that? And most mothers do their best, but showing how to become enlightened, that's something different, right? He's so fortunate she got this mother who's enlightened, showed him how to become enlightened, not only how to grow as a human beings, but she helped him, raised him all the way to Buddhahood. She raised him as a not son, but she raised him as a bodhisattva. She raised him as a great church practitioner. She raised him as a enlightened person, made him to become enlightened. So this is incredible mother. That's what we call Machik Labdun. And so the word Machik means one mother. And Machik must be come from, but the word is come from her sons, saying you are the only mother, and you did everything for to us. Basically means Machik, which means basically it means number one mother. Number one means you're the only one, right? Machik Labdun. And remembering kindness of a mother. So let's meditate now on remembering kindness of mothers. So we sit quietly, and then you think about trying to remember kindness of your mother since you're little and up to now, and what she have done to you. She gave you love, nourishment, and education, food, shelter, and all kinds of wonderful things she provided to you. Therefore, you are still here alive, and not only that, you made it. You made it. You got the opportunity to practice Dharma, opportunity to practice Lam Rim, and opportunity to practice DD yoga and sadhana. This is all due to the kindness of our mothers and fathers. So please meditate on remembering kindness of mothers or one's own mother. remembering the kindness of mothers. So I was telling a story about the birds, and if you're wondering why I'm talking a lot about birds, and I think most people have some closer connection or feeling towards the birds, like the cats and the dogs and the birds, and many people like birds. They are bird watchers and birders. I was birder one time. I'm still more or less birder. I love birds. The reason why I talk about birds, because when I was growing up as a little boy with my brother in those days, and we don't have toys, we don't have TV, no video games, and fortunately, we go out in the nature, play all day. So we watch wild animals, especially birds. We have lots of birds in Tibet, big birds. We have vultures. We have two kinds of vultures. We have cranes. And in fact, the crane is national bird of Tibet. We have black-headed cranes. We have democell cranes. We have Siberian cranes. There's different cranes. And we have eagles, hawks, kites, and so forth. We used to try to go catch vultures, and me and my brother. So we get into a little bit of trouble sometimes. And my grandmother always worrying, where is these boys are gone all day and trying to catch birds or something. And so we have ravens. Ravens are considered sacred birds in Tibetan tradition. There's a famous Lama, a Gelugpa Lama called Lungdor Lama Rinpoche, and he's from Sera Monastery. He wrote a book on how to read voice of raven, and so that if you know how to read a raven's voice, and you can detect, you can predict the weather patterns. The ravens tell you what's going to happen, weather tomorrow or day after tomorrow. They know, the animals know, and generally speaking about the weather, right? For example, many birds and elephants, they knew the tsunami was coming in Bandar Aceh and Sumatra in Indonesia and Andaman Islands. They went up to the highlands, the elephants, and the birds fly away because they knew tsunami is coming 2-3 days before. And so the birds know. So this book about reading the raven's language is a beautiful book. I have that book copy. It's actually translated in English. And my grandmother, she used to know how to read the raven's language and so forth. So, so remembering kindness of our mother. After remembering kindness of mother, then just remembering kindness of mother is not enough. We have to repay the kindness of mothers. This is an opportunity to create merit, create good karma. And because when we create good karma, we have to think about what makes me get the motivation to create merit, right? So if you think about repaying the kindness of mother, repaying the kindness of mother, then that motivates you to create merit, create good karma. That motivates to repay kindness. So do something, right? And you want to do something, and then this is a good way to create good karma, repaying the kindness of mother. So now, when you talking about repaying kindness of mother, well, which mother you are talking about, and how many mothers, and where is the mother? and this and that. There are many things you can do. For example, if you're a mother of this life, if she's still alive, and you can go and visit and serve you some food, make some food, and deliver some meditation medications, and go and do some shopping. For example, now is pandemic time, right? Do some shoppings for her, and spend time and talk about stories, good old days, and or maybe meditate together, and so on and so forth. This is a wonderful opportunity to create merit and or be with your mother, and this is a wonderful opportunity. Those of you who have still your mother, you are very fortunate. My mother has passed away a long time ago, and if my mother is still alive, she will be probably around 95, and that's possible. There are lots of mothers still alive, 90, and for example, and but anyway, she passed away, and so now most of us who are mothers of this life is passed away, and then how do we repay kindness, right? So of course there are so many things we can do. We um, we do meditation on loving kindness, and you do Tonglen practice. You sit and send the light from your heart, and love from your heart send to her wherever she is, and then she receive your love, and pray for her, and then when you giving, Tonglen is giving and taking, right? And when you breathe out and send light to her, and she receive love and support and energy, inspiration from you. She get encouragements and energy and prayers. And then when you breathe in, you imagine you take some of her burdens or pain or suffering or confusion or fear or trauma or whatever she have, maybe still having, you take it now. So this is where you can repay kindness. This way you can help your mother. This is a wonderful opportunity that you can do it right now. And you don't have to go anywhere. You sit there, meditate, do Tonglen practice. This way you help your mother of this life. And also, not only mother of this life, that when we do Tonglen practice, we do it for all sentient beings, right? So once you consider all sentient beings are mothers, then you do the Tonglen for all sentient beings. And so we also, then that means we have a greater opportunity to create merit and virtues, repaying kindness this way, right? And there are other things we can do. For example, you are a regular practitioner of, like say, Tara, a regular practitioner of Chenrezig, and if you're a regular practitioner of Vajrayogini or Medicine Buddha, and so on and so forth. And you, every time when you do your daily practice, sadhanas, or six session Guru Yoga, or Chitta Manitara Guru Yoga, or Chitta Manitara Sadhana, or Medicine Buddha, Chenrezig, which Vajrayogini, whichever sadhana practice you do, and you, while you're reciting the mantra, and then you send a light from your heart, and send it to your mother, and send a light to her, and imagine she is receiving encouragement and tremendous peace and happiness. Not only that, she is also receiving, or you're making her to become awakening and inspired to meditate or to practice, to study or to learn, study Dharma, and also to meditate. Or she's inspired to do some sort of investigation or inquiry on Dharma practice, certain topics. And that way she get the realization, the Dharma realization. right? And so this is how you repay kindness of your mother. And if your mother is sick, if she's suffering, and if she's alive right now, and if she's sick and suffering, and you do healing practice, you could do medicine Buddha sadhana, do whole sadhana, and recite the mantras. Or you could do medicine Buddha retreat. You do 4 sessions a day, and you do 100,000 mantra of medicine Buddha for your mother, for healing. Or you could do Black Manjushri sadhana practice for healing. Or you could do meditation and genesis sadhana, meditation, love and compassion for your mother, and do the mantras, and dedicate the merit, the karma, good karma, virtue to your mother. Okay, this is how you repay your kindness of your mother. And the other thing is, there's so many practices we can do. For example, your mother is still alive, okay, and your mother is healthy, strong. Your mother's alive and healthy, right? So why don't you do practice of longevity, deity yoga practice? For example, White Tara practice. So those of you who receive White Tara initiation, you do White Tara sadhana and the mantras. There are different versions of White Tara sadhana, long one, medium one, short one, and my root Guru Chabji Trijang, which compiled beautiful White Tara sadhanas. And also Aku Sherab Gyatso, famous Amdo master, Aku Sherab Gyatso, composed beautiful White Tara sadhanas. There are many White Tara sadhanas according to Gelug tradition, Sakyapa tradition, and Kagyapa tradition. Many. You can choose. A lot of these White Tara sadhanas are translated in English. And so you can do it. Even if you don't have the initiation of White Tara, you can still do it. And you do the sadhana, mantra, and visualize the deity in front of you. And then do the long life mantra, Om Tari Tu Tari Turi, Mama Ayu Punya Jana Pushtim Kuriya Soha. Pushtim Kuriya Soha. You do the mantra for your mother, for longevity and good health, right? And this is how you repay your kindness of your mother, right? And your mother will be happy, and you're happy and healthy. Good for everybody. And you, if you have children, grandchildren, and they're happy too. The whole family is happy. And if your mother has a partner, he's happy. And so I've been talking a lot about mothers here, but some of you might wonder, how come you don't talk about fathers? Well, the fathers are mothers too. Our fathers were mothers in the past lives. Right now he's father, but he was mother in the past life. He might become mother again in the future. Or your mother will become father in the future. Whatever, because you don't know the karma. It's change, keep going backwards and forth all the time, and you never know. So many times we become mothers and fathers. So many times we're born as boys and reborn as girls. It doesn't matter. We're all same. We're all same human being. We all live in the same world, one world, and we all dependent on each other for our own survival. We're dependent on the animals like birds and mammals and forests, and trees, for our own survival. Everything is interdependent, interconnected, and our own, everybody's survival. And so it doesn't matter. And if you're praying for your mother, that will help praying for, that means you're praying for your fathers too. And it will benefit the fathers. And without mothers, there's no fathers. And without fathers, there's no mothers. And that's how it is. So repay the kindness of mothers by serving in real life, serving, cooking, food, medicine, spend time, go for a walk with your mother. How wonderful. Nice to walk, go for a walk with you. Those of you you have still your mother, you go for a walk, nice walk along the river or in the forest or somewhere. It's nice. Or even go to shopping mall. Well, I guess right now we have pandemic lockdown, but doesn't matter. You can sit and do your sadhana practice together with your mother, or watch your favorite movies or something, and Dharma teachings together, and on Zoom or YouTube, and and do sadhana practice together. And there are so many teachings now available online, and you can do that practice with your mother. It's a great opportunity to repaying kindness of your mother, right? So this first recognize mother, then remember the kindness of mother, then repay the kindness of mother. Mashi, Tenden, Tenzo. Tibetan, Mashi is first recognize the mother. Mashi Tenden is to remembering the kindness of your mother. Tenzo is repaying kindness mother, remembering and repaying kindness of mother. That's the first three. Mashi Tenden, Tenzo. Yiwongi Chamba. Fourth one is called Yiwongi Chamba in Tibetan. Yiwong means something you feel like how beautiful it is. And then you send love. So before you meditate on bodhichitta, before we meditate on bodhichitta for all sentient beings, one has to consider all sentient beings are yi wong, which means something appealing in your mind. And you have to consider they're beautiful. They're beautiful, they're good. So this is a hard one. Hard one. For me, I personally found it hard. For example, some of these dictator generals, they're shooting, killing people. How can I feel them beautiful people? And how beautiful they are or whatever. It's hard. And I'm sure most of us all have the same kind of, questions, And so, but that's just some certain individuals, people are, there's always mean people on earth, and cruel people on earth, and corrupted people on earth. This is why the world has so many problems, and but majority people are good people and nice people, and they're lovely people, kind people, and good people. And likewise, majority, 99% of the animals, they're good animals. I don't think there's any bad animals. And animals don't shoot people, don't kill innocent people, and they don't they don't have corruptions, and they just live for survival, for daily consumption of food. And I think they're beautiful. Even some, yeah, anyway, all animals are good in their way, and they all have their qualities, beautiful qualities. They're all interdependent, interconnect, everything support everybody, right? So you won't get but you consider all sentient beings are good, so they're beautiful animals. They all have a purpose. They're doing something for other animals, right? And for example, some farmers and people have cows and sheep. They think the wolves are the most cruel animals. They go and slaughter the sheep, and it's hard for the farmers. I understand that. If I am farmer, if I have a bunch of cows and sheep, and wolves come suddenly all nighttime, killing my sheep and cows, I found it's hard, right? But then, actually, at the same time, the wolves are doing their own jobs. They call they hunters. What they do is they will kill animals and then they feed other animals. They provide food for birds, mammals, raccoons, and insects, and all kinds of other animals who are starving. The wolves, they do the hunting. So they do something, providing food and so on and so forth. So in a way, they are good that way. That's just how it is. It's a karma, right? Part of the life cycle, part of food chain. And so all sentient beings are good, and you won't get jambami. So you have to think from your heart, generate positive feeling, positive attitude towards all sentient beings before we meditate on loving kindness. Okay, so meditate on bodhichitta. So this time, I will leave it here and have some time for question and answer. I'm sure you have questions, and if you do, don't hesitate now, and I'll do my best to find the right answer.
Thank you so much, Rinpoche. Wongchuk from Brazil
Yes.
asks, when you talk about much larger sun,
Maxi Levinson.
yes, I rejoice, but also I feel jealous. How can I overcome this obstacle?
Jealous.
Yeah.
Why jealous?
I guess because his mother took him to enlightenment.
Yeah. Well, be honestly, in agrarian Tibetan culture, when somebody like Gyawa Tonduk, and who was Machi Labdun's son, when he's praising like the way he did, as I said, we never feel like jealousy. We don't feel jealousy that way. And I never feel jealousy how Milarepa got enlightened in his lifetime, one lifetime, And that's hard. Some people, he got enlightened just in one lifetime. I have to meditate for many lifetimes. And how come? Or some lamas do levitations. Some yogis fly in the mountains. And some people got enlightened within 3 years and so on. So then you feel like, oh, I'm jealous, right? And yeah, but we don't really get jealous because there is no reason to jealous. But the thing is, the reason I'm saying you don't feel jealous because we're not comparable to Milarepa. We're not comparable. I'm not comparable to Milarepa. I'm not comparable to Gyawa Tonduk Machi Labdun's son because I'm just ordinary Tibetan man or Lama or monk. And these guys, Gyawa Tonduk and Milarepa, they're way up there, already close to enlightenment. Somehow they have to go through this kind of life, like Milarepa had to go through this drama. Gyawa Tonduk didn't go through drama, but Milarepa had huge drama. But that's because we have saying before enlightenment, you either go absolutely crazy or you become enlightened. Just like this turning point kind of thing, right? So you have to be careful now. You're on the top of Mount Everest, right? Right on the top. Be careful. If you do the wrong move, you tumble down the hill. What happened to George Melroy? Went up there in the 1920s, and he fell down and or created avalanche and died. People never found out until 1980s, found his remains, right? And recently, 2 months ago, the Sherpas went up to K2 they made it on the top of the K2 in dead winter, but one of the Spanish guy, he died, fell down. So anyway, you could either go mad or you become enlightened, right? And but see, I'm not comparing. I can't compare to myself to Gyawa Tonduk. Therefore, I can't get jealous. Usually become jealous. It means like, okay, he and me, or she and me, we're comparable. We're similar. We're in the same latitude, same out, wherever. Now we are racing or running or jogging or weightlifting or shooting arrow like in Olympic game, right? So I want to be the winner. Okay. Now I didn't win, he won, so I'm jealous, right? So how could we become jealous to Gyawa Tonduk, Machi Labdun's son? Besides, he lived in Tibet like 700-800 years ago, and Tibet was those days like a land of enlightenment. And now we are here in this world full of pandemic, and in Brazil it's sad, all this pandemic in America, Canada, everywhere sad. So we can't compare Jawa Dondu. And don't get jealous and don't think, oh, how come he got this amazing mother and I didn't have that kind of mother. Well, it's all our karma. But not only that, actually one should do is instead of being jealous with Jawa Dondu, you say to yourself, oh, I'm so fortunate. I'm not a Jawa Dondu. I didn't have a mother like Machi Lamdu. I wasn't born in Tibet way back then. I was born here in this world today in Brazil and or in North America. And here I am. I'm a Dharma person. I met amazing gurus and received unbelievable teachings, initiations. I was a monk once upon a time, whatever, or maybe you're still a monk, and I don't know. And I'm very fortunate, and I don't want to be jealous. Jealousy is the wrong word. Even thinking about jealousy is the wrong word. And I should rejoice Jawa Dondu and Machi Labna. And I should rejoice myself. You should rejoice yourself that you have opportunity to practice church, even have opportunity to hear the story, live story of Machi Labden, the live story of Jawa Dondu. Just having that opportunity is amazing karma, good karma. So no jealousy. Drop the word of jealousy altogether.
Perfect. Thank you. Just a quick recap. The book about the ravens is called The Raven's Call.
It's called Charo Ki Ke La Takba. Charo Ki Ke La Takba, which means Charo means raven. We say in Tibetan Charo or Poro. We have two different accent or saying, different way of saying that. Depends on the dialect. Charo means like raven. Ke La Takba, ke sound. Ke Takba means analyzing sound of raven. Charo Ki Ke La Takba.
Amanda asks, sometimes there's too much attention to the experience of motherhood. I'm going to back that up. The experience of motherhood is a great treasure. Sometimes there's too much attention to them. Do you have advice how to see our children clearly to better help them?
I'm not sure too much intention. Intention or attention?
Attachment to them.
Attachment.
Attachment. Sometimes there's too much attachment to them.
Attachment to children?
The experience of motherhood is a great treasure. Sometimes there's too much attachment to them. Do you have advice as to how to see our children clearly to better help them? I think for the mothers to help the children.
Well, you are already helped for the last 20, 30 years. You don't need to help them anymore. That is your problem. That is part of your attachment. Why do you have to help all the time? After all those years, your son is a bright, handsome guy, and he's got a good job, profession. Your daughter is beautiful. She's getting there, a good job. Why do you need help? You don't need to help them anymore. And, if you say, I'm going to help you, then they say, no, mom, don't help me anymore. Let myself help myself. You've done enough job. You should retire now. You should do your practice. We can look after ourselves. Don't come after me. Don't smothering me. And you're not helping if you do that. I want to help you. I want to help you. No, mom, leave me alone. Don't help me. Let me help myself. I want to fly away like the bird. And you don't have to come after me, flying around me. Let me fly myself and collecting worms and build a nest and lay eggs. And you don't need to help them anymore. They can help themselves. And you help yourself. Do your practice. You do what you have to do. And that's otherwise you're not really helping them. If you think you have to help, you have to help. But that's the usual, I think, what do you call the thinking mothers always concerned. You are always mother. Doesn't matter. Your child is, let's say, 70 years old, and you are 100 years old, you still think my 70 years old baby. And there's one old lady in Vancouver, she is 105 years old. Her children are in their 70s. They come around do shopping for her, especially worrying about the COVID, right? So the 5 years old, I'm sure in her mind, mother mind thinks when the children, 70 years old, children comes in bringing groceries, she thinks, oh, my baby here, my son coming, she always say, all the children now gone. Children is coming next week, bringing me groceries. Your mind always their babies, and you're worrying that. So I'm not saying that's wrong, but that's just the way how it is, right? And regarding attachment, it is okay to have attachment, and this is a natural thing. It's not a bad thing. So there are many different attachments, levels of attachment. If you have attachment to yourself, that could be the worst one. If you have attachment to something else, not so bad. There are different kinds of attachment. There are different kinds of egos. Some egos are good egos. They're not bad egos. For example, Sigmund Freud talked about 5 different egos. And you have to have some kind of ego in order to become a Dharma person. So nothing wrong having ego. Depends on the ego. And likewise, attachment is, it's not that bad. You know, having attachment to children is not an unusual thing. If you say to other people, I have a problem because I have attachment to your children, then your friends think you are really weird. How come? What's wrong with you? You're saying you have attachment to your children? So your other relatives who are not a Buddhist, they will think you're weird now, saying you have attachment to your children. That's okay. And not only in non-Dharma people's point of view, from Dharma point of view, it's okay to have a certain amount of attachment. Don't you have attachment for ice cream? Don't you have attachment for dark chocolate? Don't you have attachment to a coffee? Don't you have attachment for go to sleep, good sleep? Yeah, so how can you get rid of everything? You see? The Sufis, they have saying, you should renounce your renunciation. So you're too much trying to renounce everything. And then you should renounce the renunciation. Too much renouncing. Now you're attached to the idea of renunciation. You should renounce the renunciation. Or if you become like Jain sadhus, because the Jains are the people who live in India, Gandhi's background is Jains, and those Digamba Jain sadhus, and they are naked. Severe Jain sadhus, they're naked. Okay, they have 2 items they carry. One is called kamandalu. Kamandalu is gore, where you carry the water in the gourd, right? Did I say it correctly? Gourd? It's called gourd. Okay, gourd. It's called kamandalu. And the other one's fan. 2 things, nothing else. That's it. So you could be very attached to being a naked person. You could be very attached to your gourd. You could be attached to your fan. So I saw on YouTube this head of the Jain tradition. They call His Holiness, I don't know, whatever his name is. And he came for a big interview, actually a talk show, the top talk show in India. So he came, and there was like hundreds of people sitting there, young woman, man, everybody sitting there, professional people. This Jain sadhu came, walked in, totally naked. Okay, nothing. He doesn't wear even underwear, nothing. He walked in proudly, sit there. And so the talk show guy asked question. So tell me why you have to be nude, and how does that make you become more closer to the God? And I like his answer. He said, I'm not talking about getting closer to God or not God. And then he said to him, you asked me question why I am a nude. He said, when I was born, I was nude. You, when you born, you're nude. We all, when we're born as a baby, we're all nudes. Human being is the only one wears something. Nobody else wears. Animals, birds, mammals, insects, no one wears anything. They're all nothing, don't wear anything. We wear something. So why do we are wearing something? This is a human way. But you don't have to wear all the time. If you don't wear, you're okay. The Jain tradition, these yogis, they don't wear, they survive. It can be very cold in winter, it can be very hot, but they look very healthy. They walk all the time. So you could be very attached to even being a Jain sadhu, being a naked, attached to being a naked. So it's okay, a little bit of attachment, some kind of attachment to your family, children. It's perfectly fine. Thank you.
Patricia Healy asks, my mother is 99, lovingly raised 9 of us. But how does a person who had a mother who was abusive, showing no love, how can that person have positive experiences
So this mother,
to be able to meditate on a
her
mother?
mother who's 99?
Yeah, her mother's 99.
So she's the abusive one?
No, she lovingly raised 9 of us.
Yeah.
But she's saying if a person who didn't have a mother who was loving but was abusive and showed no love, how do you then generate that feeling of loving kindness towards mothers when you haven't been modeled that?
Well, that's the point here. This is the point, because she didn't show love to you, right? And now, because she didn't know how to show love to you, and maybe perhaps when she was growing up, she never received love for herself. Maybe this person's grandmother didn't know how to show love to your mother. So your mother never knew how to show love. So that's just the way it is. So then it has to start from somewhere. If you say you didn't love us, so why should we love you? Then there's always going on a vicious cycle of hate going on. Somebody has to show the love. So it's your turn. Especially you know what is love. Love means. You are Buddhist. You are Dharma person. It's your responsibility to show what is love, how to love. And even though you never showed us love, I want to show you love, how to be loving. I'm telling you, I love you. You should know how to love others. It's not late. And we can all be lovable each other.
Right.
All right. Good.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. See you next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
What's going on?
Not yet. End of